Good day, and welcome to the Victoria Electric Vehicle Association on YouTube. I'm Glenn Gary, President. With me today I have Jim Henshaw, our Vice President and Producer, Ted Davies, our Secretary and MERB Specialist, and with us today from SWTCH Energy we have Greg Overmonds, and we're going to talk about SWTCH both in the multi-unit residential building, MERB, and in the SFH single-family homes. So welcome to the video, Greg.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate being here.
Let's launch into, you give us a little bit of background on SWTCH in general, how long you've been around, where you're from, what your expertise is, and then maybe we'll roll from there into the whole MERV side of things.
For sure. So SWTCH headquartered here in Toronto, founded by Carter Lee 10 years ago, 2016. And SWTCH, we specialize in operating EV charging at commercial facilities. And what I mean is commercial facilities is primarily apartments, condos, stratas, commercial properties, workplaces, parkades, office, hotels, any setting where you need to be managing, more than one charger. And so what that needs is energy management. It means, complex billing. It means access control. It means visibility on reporting and ESG reporting, all those things that make the needs of a larger infrastructure and a larger system required. That's what SWTCH is jam is. We're a software first company that uses the open protocol or OCPP. Essentially, we are wanting to make sure that all of our systems are open and future-proof. So this charger you see here is one of many that you can use on our network because they all use that same open protocol. So we want to make sure always that our customer has choice if they want to change their charger or upgrade, or there's a new one that comes out. You're never locked in. And that's a key component of what SWTCH's ethos is all about, is not locking in customers so that they can scale and be ready for the future of EVs in their property, whatever makes sense for them today and in the future. So that's what we've been focused on for the last 10 years.
Ted.
Um, yeah, just interested a little bit in SWTCH's experience and installations in MERBs and what's happened over the last years, and what type of services you folks include there, where there might be some load management stuff, there might be some networking and all of that. I don't know if you can tell us a little bit more.
For sure. So our bread and butter is in multifamily unit dwellings or MERBs. That's because I think for us, some of the strength of SWTCH is in our load management, right? 30% of the country lives in apartments and condos. And many of those properties are built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, which were not designed for having 50% or 20% of the cars needing electricity through EVs. And so what that has meant that to really provide charging at scale for residents, you really need sophisticated load management and network management so that you can truly electrify your spaces and your parkade without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on electrical upgrades, right? And that's the big issue, in that so many buildings that are built in the 80s and 90s, they say, well, we could only add 4 chargers without having to get a service upgrade. Well, that's actually not true. With proper technology, proper load management, there's so many neat things that SWTCH has developed over the last 5, 6, 7 years. You cannot do 4, but you could do 40. You could do 60 on your existing system, which allows many buildings to scale charging infrastructure to the point where you're getting, between 10 and 20 of your spaces electrified before having to consider, or, maybe in 5 or 10 years down the road, we need to increase, service levels, capacity levels. But that is why, we've been so successful in MERBs. We have 4,000 or 5,000 chargers in apartments and condos across Canada, tons across BC, tons in mainland Vancouver, tons on Victoria, in Victoria City, and throughout the island. And that's been kind of our special area of focus. We've also done that across in the States. We've been operating in the US for several years. But when it comes to MERBs in particular, it's load management. 2, it's access control. So be it shared spaces, if you want to make sure that guests or residents have different pricing or different access. Reservations are key for those types of spaces because you don't want someone just sitting there forever and hogging the space. That also means like loitering policies that we can put in place. And then you have, deeded spots. So people who are in Stratus who own the space and want to put chargers in the space, we have different rules and ways to charge billing and access controls for those as well that make our suite of software ideal for multi-unit residential settings.
One of the things for us when we set our system up about 6, 7 years ago was the issue of network communication, and
Yes.
we would have to buy rent an extra line, and that would cost us another $100 a month. And for a couple of chargers, that suddenly made the whole process more expensive. And I'm wondering if there's something that Switch is doing that makes that whole networking load management thing maybe a little less expensive in this modern world now.
Yeah, for sure. So we have a network. So any of our charging systems, they need to be networked. So which means we're also installing networking gear, usually within the parking levels. And classically, up until about last year, that was bringing Cat5 or network cable through the walls, down garages, into routers and hubs on each of the floors to make sure that we ensure that there's enough coverage, network coverage, so that even when you go down several levels, those chargers are always on and accessible. So we make sure that is part of the design, and that is a fixed cost. That there is not part of a recurring fee. What we've done in the last year is we've upped that technology. We've launched the Switch Echo, which basically is a long-range, low-frequency device that can be installed, that can send signals through concrete walls, several floors. And so what that means is that it lowers the installation cost by like 70, 80% because now we're not drilling through concrete anymore. We're not putting network cables through floors and ceilings. We have these low frequency, high range devices that can easily send data up several floors. And so we'll put these, a couple on each floor just to make sure we have a mesh network that covers it all. But it's this new technology that we've been working on for a while that we're now have in market, which just saves a ton on the installation costs.
Wow, sounds great. I guess modern times, huh?
And that's the thing, right? Installing that system 6, 7 years ago, like the technology has increased tenfold where it was and where it is now, from networking to communication to even the devices and the software that can manage it from a load management perspective or an energy management is night and day. So yeah, you were definitely one of the earlier pioneers installing a system 6, 7 years ago.
And as you ponder work on condos, we have in BC this EPR. I think it's what is it? The Engineer Electrical Planning Report. And I don't know if that's a prerequisite before you folks do any work in a condo building.
Yeah, so I'm not the right person to answer that in regards to the technical aspects of it, but I definitely know there's like EV readiness and designs that are required in order to then spec out available capacity and whatnot. And then we work with those engineers to then design a proper plan based on the number of spaces and charges you need now, but more importantly, how many you expect in the future, right? So we work with design firms to do surveys and figure out like, great, you want 16 chargers now. Well, great. We'll make sure that through our load management and any circuit sharing that we're doing, that we're specing this for 160, for example, and making sure we have the energy to scale. That's a huge part of the work that we'll do in hand with any design firm or engineering firm to make sure that your property is set up for the future, not just for today.
And is there sort of a slant to your business to be in making installations on brand new buildings, or do you do both the brand new and the 30-year-old buildings, and what's the rough proportion of the two?
Yeah, so we'll do both. So like obviously the retrofit one is bread and butter for all those reasons, for those who need electrical, capacity constraints to scale. But we work with the new builds all the time because they also now in new builds they have requirements for how many spaces need to be electrified. And in BC,
Right.
it's like So Aspect, the development condo just south of Vancouver, we installed 180 chargers in and electrified all of the spots of a 500 unit building. And why it's so important for us to be involved in the development stage is that making sure you know how to load share and how to plan your circuits properly for EV charging is so expensive if you don't do it right. Right? If you're sending
Yeah.
circuits to every single spot, right? That theoretically is 4 times as expensive as if you're only sending and you're properly sharing circuits and working with an EV charging solution provider that truly understands load management to know like you can save a lot of money here by doing it properly at the outset and not doing it afterwards and over electrifying, basically over circuiting.
Okay, excellent. Thanks.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Glenn, can
is
you
there
re
any opportunity to have money made charging in a MERB?
Yeah, for sure. So, because you can set your rates, so whoever's owning it, be it the strata or an apartment manager, right, you choose the rates in which you are allowing people to charge at. So you can make lots of money by charging people $10 an hour to charge. You can, right, there's various ways in which you can charge those rates, right? You can cost plus, you can try to make sure you're just paying for the electricity. We work and guide managers through that question to understand what your goals are, right? And if you have like a payback period, let's say of X number of years, we can help model with you how you should price based on, you as a strata want to recoup your initial expenses in 5 years, let's say. It's like, great. Well, then you should probably add 20 cents on top of your costs. I'm just making that up to in order to then hit those types of kind of ROI and payback periods. So it's something, a service that we provide. It's free for us to do to all of our customers, but it's definitely part of the question when you're setting up your system.
And anything from the low carbon fuel standard on that?
So for that, so the short answer is no directly. We work with stratas and apartments in various markets on that question, but it's not the same everywhere, is the short answer. So we work with our stratas and condos to participate. The relationship depends on the contract and various other aspects of that, and that's not done on an individual basis.
Now, we'll move on to the single family home thing with Jim and his able to contain himself with regards to looking forward to his EV and being charged at home.
I'm about to put in a home charger, and you
Great.
have a brand new system, Greg, for homeowners. And it seems to imply that I can get a free charging system and then earning money through it. So how does that work?
That's correct. Yeah, so we've been talking about how Switch is a commercial supporter and operator of EV chargers, but as of kind of this week, we're launching a new home charging program, which is geared fully on single family homes. So those people who are homeowners of an individual home, townhouse, semi-detached, you name it. And this program is exactly as you mentioned. What we're doing is we're offering single family homeowners a free level 2 home charger. And we're allowing them to earn 3 cents for every kilowatt hour they charge at home. So you get a free charger and you get to earn money every time you charge at home, which is essentially earning $150 to $200 every year by just doing the thing that you're doing right now, which is charging your car at home.
Right. Now, my understanding is you have two entries into this program. One, where I would pay you $300 and get a free charger. One where I'd pay a little bit more than that and get a charger I can keep. Tell me the difference between how that operates.
Yeah, so in both situations you get to keep your charger, which is great because then the charger is yours. But yes, there's two streams. There's one is the free charger option, and so to get the free charger, you do have to put a $300 deposit down. And what that deposit does is to make sure that you're in the program legitimately. And so what that means is as you start charging through it, you get the deposit back after you've accumulated 1,500 kilowatt hours through that charger, which equates to roughly 3 to 5 months of charging. So you pay your deposit after whatever 4 or 5 months of charging, you get that deposit right back on your credit card, and that charger is yours. It's yours to own. And from day one, the moment you install your charger, you connect it to your Wi-Fi, you connect it to the Switch home charging app, you're making 3 cents every kilowatt hour you charge. And once your account hits $100, we'll send a direct deposit to your bank account. No e-gift cards that you have to worry about. We'll send you cash right to your account for every $100 that you accumulate on your account from now until the end of the carbon program, which is, I know we're talking about, right? The question is like, how can you offer all this for free? Right. And the answer is that we're participating in Canada's Clean Fuel Regulation carbon program, which previously was never able to be participated, or single family homeowners could never participate in the carbon market because as a one individual person, you aren't big enough to create even one carbon credit, let alone enough to be able to join the auction. And so Switch, what we're doing with this program is we've done the work to then take our work in our commercial side and build it out on the residential side so we can then aggregate and bring together all these carbon credits and micro carbon credits from Canadians all across the country and then be able to package those into carbon credits and sell them. And that's what pays for your charger, free charger, and that's what pays you 3 cents every kilowatt hour. But as you mentioned, there's a secondary stream, right? And that second stream that we offer on our website is you could actually buy the charger outright from us, meaning you pay, it's like $4.99 is the cost of the charger. And if you do that and pay for it outright, then you get to actually earn 5 cents from day one till the end of the program. And so there's that second stream. And the reason why that second stream exists are for those people who have EV charging installation incentives in their local market. BC is one of them. And so for those people who haven't taken advantage of that credit and rebate program from BC Hydro, you may actually prefer to just buy it outright because then you're earning more for every kilowatt hour versus going the free approach, which, as you can see, the difference between 3 and 5 cents is to make sure that the cost of the charger is eventually paid for over the period of time.
Right. And I think the rebate in BC right now is $350 from BC Hydro. So that would cover most electrical installations. So to pay for the electrician to do the install.
Correct. And that's the thing. If you want to hardwire, like you can use that money for the electrician, or if you have a NEMA plug installed in your garage, then you don't need an electrician to install our NEMA plug version. Then you could essentially, it'd be more advantageous for you to just pay for it outright, and then you can get the rebate because our charger is eligible for the BC Hydrate rebate program.
Right. And this rebate continues as long as I'm using the service, correct?
The rebate or the
money earned.
Yep. So the money earned is going to continue to earn until as long as the Clean Fuel Regulation carbon program exists, which hopefully is several years. And so you will keep earning until that program continues to exist.
Significant danger with a government change that this low carbon fuel credit system would suddenly stop?
I'm not the person to, I'm the marketing guy. Mike Frazina, our director of policy, would have much to say about that question and more than happy to follow up with him. But I think holistically, right, like it's here for now, it's here with the current government. And so given that this program exists where you own the charger, if this program doesn't exist, it's not like we're taking that charger back. And so ultimately, from the homeowner's perspective, you get a free charger and you get to earn. And sure, at some point down the road, who knows when that is, that earning may stop, but you get a free charger. And that's like a huge part, especially those people who are newly EV drivers. Like you could, do I buy, one on Amazon for $600 or do I join this program to get a free one and earn some money until I can't? And that's kind of like how I approach it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's all set up on your website. You go there, you say where you live, you select the chargers that you have available, and you'll handle all the rest of that stuff.
Yeah, so we built a Shopify store. So you go to shop.switchenergy.com, and it's pretty straightforward. You pick the model type, be it the power type, either hardwired version or a NEMA plug. You have to choose the plug type. So what type of car you have? Do you need the J1772 plug, which is for kind of older models and non-Tesla? And then we also have the NACS plug. So for those Tesla cars or some of the newer models that are using that. So you got to choose your plug, choose how it's powered, and then order. And so if you're getting the free one, then yes, you pay a $300 deposit, which we just hold for you until you hit your threshold, and then it drop ships right to your house. We send it directly in a couple days, and then there's instructions right in the box. Yeah, people have so far had not too much trouble getting it going. And yeah, we have customer support here as well. Like you get to leverage the fact that we're a national entity that's supporting chargers every single day. So we're here to support people who are having troubles, but then you're off to the races. That's it.
Cool.
Right. And if you need any sort of electrical work, that's up to the individual homeowner to select their company to provide that part of the service.
Correct. Yeah, we are even for our for our commercial side of the business, we don't have like electrical contractors on staff. We always work with the service partners in local regions that are partner installation partners of ours. Yeah, and you can use local certified electricians in your area to install these. These are not
And
anything but
yeah,
standard.
in BC, there's no system that allows you to just have a neighbor who knows how to do this kind of stuff come over. It all has to be a certified red seal electrician who does the
Right.
work, or BC Hydro won't send you the
Right.
rebate. It sounds great.
Terrific. Yeah.
The boat from
Any
Germany
other
can't
skill testing questions, you two? Any other?
nothing from me.
No,
Ted?
it, it, it sounds good. Appreciate the explanations, Greg. That's good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think another thing that
Right on.
I find particularly interesting about the future potential of the program is that these chargers, just like our other commercial chargers, they're OCPP enabled, which means they're also, for us, enabled to be used and leveraged in utility demand response programs, which for those who are aware of the power of that, right, these chargers being networked, in that if there is a program locally, participants could actually earn more in the future because if, let's say, BC Hydro or various utilities across the country want to spin up a demand response program, we can immediately offer an incentive through the utility to say, hey, do you want to participate? Do you want to join this new program where you'd get an additional 50, 100, $200 a year? These charges are already set up to be able to allow participants the choice to opt in, which is really cool. Right now, there's no current program where they're being offered, but that's the future. Is if we can get lots of these chargers all across the country, it creates a really powerful, basically virtual power plant that participants can say, you know what, I want to participate in that, and I get to make even more money by participating in those programs. And so we're setting the stage for hopefully even more, good uses of EV chargers down the line as well.
Right. Terrific.
That almost leads us into an entirely different video. Uh,
Happy to talk about that
that
as well. The future of the grid, if you want to go there, or
Uh,
utilities and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's a huge part of Switch's ethos. We've done V2G pilots, we're doing some V2X stuff. Like for us, we want to be a participant in the future of the grid and what it looks like. And so that's a huge part of how our chargers and our network operates.
Right.
so you can support it today.
We could support it today, but there's no program operating.
Right.
So, we're in talks with the major utilities across the country right now as they're noodling future programs and future rollouts and whatnot. And so, obviously, like the question is very present now that we have this charger and we have this program that's ready to go to scale to thousands of homeowners across the country. So, there's some really exciting conversations that are being had because we have the network and we have the support to truly support thousands of charges across the country. And so that's an exciting conversation that was really only be able to be started a couple months ago once we knew that this residential program was going to be real and we had this, network support and capacity to support residential, not just commercial chargers. And so, yeah, the future is exciting. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
On that note,
Right.
thank you, Greg Ormond from Switch.
Thanks very much for having me, guys.
Okay.